Hello guys, I've been making this video with all the information about the nightmare that ended up being the first night of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss what we are baking with your fave celebs' latest info. It is with no pleasure we bring you guys the unexpected results of Taylor Swift's first night in Brazil. The Eras Tour began their Brazil journey at Nilton Santos Olympic Stadium in Rio de Janeiro this past Friday, November 17. Unfortunately, another event scheduled for the concert dates was the rising temperatures that the country was facing. It's been said that the temperatures rose to 41 degrees Celsius and 105 degrees Fahrenheit, with a heat index of nearly 59 degrees Celsius and 138 degrees Fahrenheit. These are the temperatures the fans had to endure while they waited hours outside the stadium while exposed to the sun. Many hoped to find some relief from the heat once they were allowed inside the stadium, but they weren't ready for the hell that awaited inside. The event organizers, deliberately or not, made a long list of bad decisions to worsen the situation. Many attendees said that the grass was covered with a metal floor, which not only isn't the best choice for rising temperatures, but it also burned a lot of unlucky fans that fell on the floor and had to rush to find emergency care. Another poor decision was that most of the stadium gaps were covered to ensure that people who didn't pay for a ticket weren't able to see any part of it for free. As a result, the ones who actually paid faced a lack of access to ventilation or to exits to be able to breathe better or leave during the performance if they needed or wanted to. They also seemed to be understaffed since many fans reported that when they faced complications and needed assistance, they weren't able to find any workers to help. The stadium also wasn't equipped with hydration for fans, who also weren't allowed to bring in their own water. But why is this such a big deal? I'm sure you've seen or heard about concerts with bigger issues, but let me explain why this one went from a dream come true for many fans to an absolute nightmare. And we got the receipts. But first, don't forget to like and subscribe to see what we are baking for our next videos. Now, remember when I told you they seem to be short-staffed with no easy access to water, exits, or ventilation? You do? Perfect. Well, this is a big deal because due to the rising temperatures, a lot of fans fell ill. Many were fainting, others throwing up, and since a lot of attendees couldn't find workers to help them, they had to carry their passed-out friends to get them medical help while struggling to find exits. Probably the most talked-about case is the unfortunate death of Ana Clara Benavides Machado, a 23-year-old psychology student who had her whole life ahead of her and went to great lengths to see her idol Taylor Swift. Her passing was reported by one of the companies that organized the event called Time for Fun. They shared on social media that paramedics attended to Benavides after she reported feeling unwell. She was taken to a first aid center and then to a hospital, where she died an hour later. The closest statement we have is from one of her friends who assured us that they were both given water while they waited to enter the stadium and that her friend's situation presented itself during Taylor's second song, Cruel Summer, and not before the show started, as it was reported by Taylor and many media outlets. After the show, Taylor shared on social media how devastated she was by saying, "I can't believe I'm writing these words, but it is with a shattered heart that I say we lost a fan earlier tonight before my show. I can't even tell you how devastated I am by this. There's very little information I have other than the fact that she was so incredibly beautiful and far too young. I'm not going to be able to speak about this from stage because I feel overwhelmed by grief when I even try to talk about it. I want to say now I feel this loss deeply, and my broken heart goes out to her family and friends. This is the last thing I ever thought would happen when we decided to bring this tour to Brazil." As for the rest of the show, the remaining fans kept enduring the aforementioned problems, but gladly, many fans caught Taylor Swift's attention by showing the light of their phones and asking for water. They even started a chant that led the singer to stop the show and ask for staff to give her fans water. She even tossed a bottle while singing.
You need it? Do you see this? Do you see it? Are we good? We don't need to chant. It's totally fine. We just need to get water to them. Water! 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 Got it? Do you see them now? Okay. It's coming. Can you help my life?
Some people even reported that Taylor's crew started handing water, even though some of the other workers were trying to stop them. Thankfully, the difficult situation presented during the first concert didn't go unnoticed, since the next show on Saturday, November 18, 2023, that was set to have even higher temperatures was rescheduled for Monday, as announced by Taylor herself via social media. I'm writing this from my dressing room in the stadium. The decision has been made to postpone tonight's show due to the extreme temperatures in Rio. The safety and well-being of my fans, fellow performers, and crew has to and always will come first. This change came with a lot of mixed emotions, since some thought it was the best option after the previous event, and some fans demanded the show to go on, given that they flew in for the show and by Monday they had to be back to their respective cities or countries and back to work as well. A Brazilian fan named Julia Alvarenga shared with her followers how she waited hours under the sun with a diaper and she deserved to see the show just as it was scheduled. This is a very valid point, since the show could have been canceled sooner than a few hours before it was set to begin, given that the fans had to wait in the unbearable heat under the sun but didn't get the reward of seeing the show, and then they had to go through it all again on Monday. Now, for the good news. The Sunday show was able to go on with a better environment since the temperature was set to go down. And thanks to the mayor of Rio de Janeiro, Eduardo Paes, and the Justice Minister Flavio Dino, the concertgoers were able to bring water and sealed food. The stadium vents and exit obstructions were removed, and the stadium had better and easier water access for the fans. Many Swifties that secured tickets for several concert dates in Brazil said that Sunday was a much better experience, far from the sauna hell that they endured on Friday. The highlighted moment from the night was when Taylor Swift sang her song Bigger Than the Whole Sky, which was perceived by fans as Taylor's tribute to her deceased fan, Ana Clara Benevides Machado. Even though it wasn't mentioned by Taylor since she had previously stated that she wouldn't speak of the subject on stage, which seems understandable. Sadly, the rescheduled show wasn't able to run away from catastrophe. It was reported that another one of Taylor Swift's fans passed away before the show, due to a stabbing while out with friends in Copacabana at around 3 a.m. on Monday. The victim, Gabriel Manganat Santana Milhomem Santos, was only 25 years old. The Brazilian Eras Tour surely started with difficulties, but let's hope everything goes smoothly from now on. The hard truth is that people passing at concerts isn't unheard of. A recent concert that faced similar casualties, but on a bigger scale, was a 2021 Astroworld concert by Travis Scott. Many people asked if Taylor Swift deserved the same treatment since the rapper faced a lot of backlash, especially for not stopping the performance so the situation could improve. We don't know how much awareness artists have of what is happening with the crowd while on stage, but we saw good behavior on Taylor's part when she realized the difficulties her public was experiencing and did everything she could to improve the situation. So, I do believe maybe the performers are now more mindful about how they need to try and be more aware of the crowd and see if there's an issue going on and intervene as soon as they can. That seems like a big improvement that hopefully sticks. So we don't have to keep losing lives for organizers to be more considerate of what the attendees might need during different weathers, locations, and other circumstances that may arise. Tell me, what do you guys think about the issues the concert faced? Were you or anyone you know in attendance, or have you experienced something similar? I would love to know your opinion about the devastating news. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see what we are baking for our next video.